But the next question is, no budget.
Yep.
Like, what is the sickest? What is the Levo S Works of the motorbike market?
Well,
The e-motos,
you predicted it, man.
the Stark.
It's definitely the Stark Varg, yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
it's tough to say because technically at the moment that we're recording this right now, you can't personally have one of those in your garage yet, but very soon you will be able to. So I feel like just to not predate this podcast too much, like
Yep.
for sure Stark Varg, because it's coming soon. People have ridden it, quite a few people have ridden it, and I mean, it is just a step above anything that's available right now for sure in
And
terms of
I mean,
performance.
I got a little bit excited when I saw that, and I went on their website. And riders, check out their website. It's a very slick brand. It's from the MX-24, isn't it? The guys that owned
Yeah.
MX-24.
Yep. Anton was one of the founders
Yeah,
of
smart.
24MX. Yeah, for sure.
24
So
MX. That's it.
he knows the industry. I mean, everybody over there, and you could tell like all the engineers, everyone that's working there, like they ride dirt bikes. They get it. Like, and it just the bike is a prime example of smart people like that coming together
Yeah,
to put the bike together for sure.
and they're also like, I mean, if I was an outsider looking in, which I am, I would guess that would be 15 to $20,000, that bike, but it's not.
Yeah.
What's it
No.
like, 12?
So there's two versions of it. You can get the 60 horsepower model or you can
Yep.
get the 80 horsepower model. And that's just tuning. That's just coming through the controller. And so the 60 horsepower is 13,000 currently 13,000 USD and the 80 horsepower is $1,000 more, 14,000 USD.
I mean, it's not.
So it's totally comparable to what you could expect from a high trim package on like a KTM internal combustion bike for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, man. Like I think some people balk at the price, but there's always people like that that will just do that no matter what. But for what you get, this being new technology, this being a young company, like that's a pretty reasonable price, all things considered. And for like those riders out there, like if you're I mean, moto riders like 60 horsepower, that their low end version, the thing is absolutely insane. It is so fast. Like it is there are very few people that can ride a 450 motocross bike to its full potential, and those are usually 55, maybe 60 horsepower. And
Jesus.
so you
Wow.
expect yeah, and it's like and it's on the Stark, it's electric, so there's no gears, it's just instantaneous. You just get on that throttle and it just accelerates with no lag. It's a wild experience for sure.
I listened to the podcast of Anton on Gypsy Tales,
Yeah,
about a year ago, and it was a great
that was a great
podcast.
podcast. I listened to that too.
Interesting
Yeah,
guy. I'll put it in the show notes, writers. Really interesting guy, very like forward thinking. And I think he said, don't quote me, I think he said they put it on the open market and they sold 500 in the first day or something, like pre-sold.
I mean I'm sure because I know the website actually crashed from the amount of people that were logging on there to pre-order, and I know that I know it's somewhere around this, but I think it was like in the first 3 months it was like 13,000 pre-orders.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's like
Yeah.
one of the most impressive
So there's
motorcycle
demand.
launches ever.
There's definitely demand there. I want to go
Yeah.
back to something that I just thought of then. So me and my mountain bike friends all went and rented motocross bikes for the day,
Yeah.
and we were sitting analyzing at the end, and they loved it, and I didn't really like it, and it's not that I didn't like it. I just didn't feel comfortable on the bike. And also I missed out on the social aspect of riding my bike with my buddies because
Yeah.
the motorbikes are so loud. I was like, we couldn't just talk shit to each other and
Yeah.
give and just go, come on, jump that, do this, do that, and
Yeah.
like you do on a mountain bike. And yeah, so that's got to be a massive bonus. Like if you're out riding with your buddies, you can hear each other.
Yeah, for sure. You can absolutely. I mean, if you're that close, it's like a blessing and a curse though. If you're on a motocross track with gas bikes, they also can't hear you, you know? So it's like trying to coexist those 2 can be a little sketchy. Like I've tried to do some races where you're like trying to pass a gas bike. They have no idea that you're behind them, you know?
I didn't think
But
about that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's wild. Like, luckily, like some of the bikes actually have little horns on them, and it's like you just give them a little beep beep, let them know you're behind them. But yeah, the aspect of like riding with buddies, I mean, it's great. You can hear everything, and that totally gets drowned out when you're on a gas bike. But
Oh man,
you know,
yeah.
it's a singular kind of sport, you know, like like I wonder if you're like downhill mountain biking, would you be I feel like when you're on a trail ride, you're like a little more hooting and hollering, but like downhill mountain biking maybe a little bit more like singular focus, kind of like moto.
Yeah. No, totally. It's more like when you're getting to the trails and you're like the day of, like, I was with my buddies for like 4 hours and I don't think we barely spoke to each other, and it's like a social
Yeah.
day out, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's like
for sure.
normally when we're out on our mountain bikes or electric mountain bikes, we'll ride up,
Yeah.
we'll stop at the trailhead, then we'll get ready, then we'll ride down, then we'll go up. So yeah, I definitely think, and also, I reckon we're gonna see them. I reckon we're gonna see that at the Supercross next year or in a couple of years. I think the Americans. I think it might be hard to get that in. What do you think?
To get like a Stark Varg into a supercross race,
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be hard, man.
yeah. I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of and I was with another guy, and I was talking about the Stark Varg, and he was so anti. He was like screaming, going, "No, no!" I said, "I reckon we're going to see it at Supercross in the next couple of years." And he goes, "No, no! You need to smell the two-stroke. You need to smell like it needs to have
Yeah.
the noise. It's not Supercross if it doesn't." I was like, "Dude, it's the
I
future."
I don't disagree with him, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm here to promote electric dirt bikes. That's totally, you know, my bag with the ECR channel, but I still love gas bikes. Like I
Yeah,
own a 4-stroke and a 2-stroke, and um I see what people are concerned about, but it's like anything, man. People are afraid of change, and I personally don't want 4 strokes or 2 strokes to go away, especially in a race environment. But what I think would be super cool is to have a specific class for e-moto to compete as well. And I know that
yeah,
that's not what Stark wants. Stark wants to race the gas bikes and prove that the bike is superior. And I totally understand that, but I don't come at this from a place of like, this is better and we have to change. It's like, this is another option for you to have a good time on 2 wheels. Like, that's
yeah,
always been my perspective on it. I'm not
yeah,
trying to take the environmental stance. I'm just trying to take, like, in the right application, these bikes are great, but I'm not going to be the one that says, like, these bikes are better than a gas bike because yeah, in some regards they are, but they in some regards they definitely are not. And so it's like I just try to be realistic with that. But man, I get it from both sides for sure. I know exactly who your buddy is, who you're talking about.
I'm gonna definitely take the standpoint that electric mountain bikes are better than normal
Okay.
mountain bikes, only for a specific age group.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, fair enough.
yesterday I was riding in my with my old buddies from Adelaide,
Mhm.
and there was like 5 of us out, and everyone's in their 40s. Everyone apart from me has kids. Everyone has a busy job, and we went out for 2 hours, and we smashed probably like 1,000 meters of vertical climbing, like maybe 2,000 foot, like a decent ride.
Yeah.
Everyone still rides well because they're riding a lot more.
Mhm.
Um, and the fitness level, there's no like, you know, some guys are not as fit as others. Some guys drink too much beer, probably me. And
Yep.
but like for our age group, I just see it as such a bonus. And
Totally.
but when I was 15 or 20, I don't want to see kids on electric mountain. Like I don't want to see like that
Mhm.
15-year-old little Grom on a e-bike. I want to see him earn his turns, like we did back in the day. Uh, but
Totally,
I
man.
but I think for the older riders, they're just so. And I got my mate this year or last year, Nico the Aussie Punter. I got him out, and he's a big boy and he works a lot, and he would have got on a mountain bike. And if you bought a mountain bike, it would have stayed in the shed for like the whole year and maybe got out once. But now
Yeah,
he rides every weekend. And I just think that aspect is just, it's opened up the sport so much. It's amazing.
totally, man. Yeah, no, I think that that's honestly a similar thing for the moto-bikes too. It's just it's getting riders. They're probably what I call like a vet rider, somebody that's been on dirt bikes for a long time, but you get old, you get a little, bones break a little bit easier, you're a little bit more out of shape, and you just wanna have like a more of a mellow kind of experience or just be able to kinda customize it. And I think the e-motos hit that same demographic, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that like I don't want to see a Grom on an e-moto, but I want to see it like almost as a complement to their normal riding. And I've
Yeah.
seen that before. It's like you get these little, amateur phenoms that are just probably going to be in the pro ranks. And like, yeah, when you're done doing your motos, hop on a Suron and go rip a little mini supercross track. That'd be,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love that
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, man, it's like, it's just cool to have options. Like that's what I'm all about. And I think in 2022, like, whether you pedal bikes or you twist throttle, like what a great time to ride on two wheels, man. There's so many options to
Dude,
ride,
it's
and it's
just
like the bikes are
exploding.
so good.
Yeah, it's just exploding.
And legend riders, I hope you enjoyed that small clip from the podcast I did with Tucker talking about the top 5 electric motorbikes on the market in 2023. If you want to see more of that podcast, click on the link up here or here. I'm not sure where it is, but you're going to love it. And riders, thanks for your support. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so and share it with like-minded people.